What's up, guys? Welcome to the second ever episode 3 of the Kinda Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Release the Snyder Cut. We're stronger than ever, everybody. In review.
You can't turn every single show into this nonsense.
It's my month. I can do whatever I want.
I hate that it gets associated with the bad people. You know what I mean? It's just like, let's just hold the good ones, you know,
I'm
Greg?
just telling you what, there's good people on both sides of the argument, right?
Great. We're gonna die on that line with the freaking Snyder Cut. We also have the former informer, Imran Khan.
Don't release the Snyder Cut. If it exists, keep it hidden as long as humanly possible.
We'll get our way. Don't worry
Dude,
about
here's
it.
my thing. I think they're gonna release it.
Oh, I know
and
they
you know
are.
what this means, Greg?
Yeah.
We're gonna watch it. They're not gonna release it before we review Justice League.
I'm aware.
So we're gonna have to watch it twice.
But then you all see where he was going. All right.
Yeah.
Before, you know what I mean? We had two movies, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, that set us on the path. And then everybody panicked over at Warner Brothers, and here we
That's
are.
when they panicked.
Would you be okay with the idea of Snyder going back and making a cut now? Like, presumably another cut doesn't exist.
Here's my thing.
Make a new
People
cut.
always get hung up on does the cut exist, does it not exist? First off, we all know it exists.
That seems important.
We all know it exists. Why? We all are on Vero. We see Zack Snyder putting up his post that said, yes, it exists, and he has the canisters right there. But let's say by some happenstance, Bob Iger came over and burned it all down, right? He's like, this is too good. It would reframe how everybody thinks of Marvel movies. It can't exist. Burn it. Luckily, DC, they have a thing called comic books where you can take it and fucking make a comic book out of it. Let us see what it was supposed to be. I speak for everyone, and that's half of humanity.
Speak for everyone. And the new face of video games, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Release the Kojima cut of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh my
That is
God.
true as
Yes.
well.
It's actually
Yes.
not a cut. It's just the raw footage for like 20 hours.
I'll take it,
I'll
dude.
take- I'll take
Box
one.
set.
wanna know.
I just want
Liquid.
chapter 3.
That's it, man. Please give us chapter 3. This is the Kinda Funny Games cast. Each and every week we get together, talk about video games, all the things that we love about them. You can watch it live by being a Patreon supporter on patreon.com/kindafunnygames. That also gets you the show ad-free, which is pretty cool, and the exclusive post show. If you don't want any of that stuff, that's cool. You can watch it later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, or listen to it as a podcast. Just search for Kinda Funny Gamescast on your favorite podcast provider. Please give us good reviews. We'd appreciate that as well. And it
If you're
doesn't
not going
cost
to give
you
good
anything.
reviews, don't do any reviews.
Just don't
go
do-
away.
don't
They
review us
They
at
don't
all.
have a review system, it turns out.
Wow, it's crazy. And if we get something wrong during the show, you can go to kindafunny.com/gamescast. You're wrong, and we will correct it the following week. Today we are brought to you by Upstart, Honey, and Quip, but we will get to that later. We're going to start off hot, man. The topic of the show today is 2020 video game predictions. We're going to do it like we always do with our prediction shows. We each have 5 predictions. We're going to go around the table, turn by turn. If someone makes a prediction, that's their prediction. We're going to
Finally-
discuss them, we'll have fun there, but we have backup predictions to be able to slip in there, to be able to,
Accommodate.
Yeah.
accommodate.
We
Yes.
can't say,
Yes.
yeah, you're saying we each have to have 5 individual, unique things. Don't leave, Tim.
No,
I'm
Funnily-
backing up.
leave.
Funnily
Also
enough,
said-
that means we'll have 20 predictions at the end of this.
Yeah. When you say unique,
2020.
because
Yeah.
I imagine like all of us have things to say about next gen, but like with probably slight tweaks or slight differences, right? Like I might have a price idea for a PS5 or an Xbox One X. Imran might have his own, and Greg might have his own.
If
How
they're
does that?
different, it can't
Okay.
be the same prediction. If your number is like, it's
Gotcha.
going to be $1,200, and Greg's is like, it's going to be free. Those
Okay.
are different predictions.
Gotcha.
You know?
And also, as traditional rules apply, we never make a prediction about something we know.
Yes.
We don't Jeremy Dunham it. Come in here, give out 5 predictions. 3 are on the nose. 2 are things he made up.
Who wants to start off? Greg or me?
Blessing, call the ball. I can't break eye contact.
Oh man. Oh man.
You can't tell them apart.
Yeah, I'm like, who's who?
All right, that's
Which
racist.
one is which?
Racist.
Greg Miller.
I'm going first.
Yes.
Also, let's take you listeners at home. I want you to take some bets and predictions on how many times does Greg Miller do the thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking
You
about.
only do it during prediction topics.
For
how
audio
you do it,
listeners,
right.
that's him like removing his
Do
glasses.
it, do
and
it though.
looking for
Do
the-
it.
Let me do the
This
predictions the
won't
way
count.
I do it.
Gotcha.
All right?
Okay.
Let me just do
keep
the
your eyes
predictions the
peeled
way
for
I
this.
do.
I love it. It's my
And
favorite
remember,
thing.
of course, that I will only accept when people go through and give the tenths of the points. Because my predictions, many of them are onions. I had to
Okay.
learn this back in the day with Colin. If I wanted to compete, I had to get very minuscule bullshit.
Gotta get in
I'm
there.
gonna say this too. I learned a lot from y'all in terms of itemizing,
Thanks for being a listener. You know what I mean?
itemizing the
Thanks.
predictions, and so I also
that
have.
was a bad handshake on my part, not yours.
Oh yeah. But I also have
All right, cool.
bullet points.
The more
here.
knit, the
not
more
literal
grit,
bullet points,
the
but
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with
There we go.
my biggest one here. Okay, it's a big swing. If you watch PS I Love You XOXO, you know that's how I do it though. All right, you know the fantasy football thing. Here we go. And I've generalized this a bit because I think it could happen at two places. Before the end of the year, we'll have a teaser trailer for the next Uncharted. It will be from Sony San Diego in conjunction with Naughty Dog. It will not feature Drake. It will be a new main character. Well, I should say Drake's not the main character. New main character, and there will be one or two familiar faces in the trailer.
When you say new main characters, that doesn't include Chloe and Nadine.
Correct. I don't think it'll be that.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know how spoilery you want to get. For Uncharted 4. Have you beaten Uncharted 4? 4 years ago? Did you beat this yet? Right? I think you have.
Oh, so you think it's going to be a character from Uncharted 4?
No,
Okay.
I think it's a brand new adventure. I do not think it's Drake's
You
daughter.
don't think it's,
Gotcha.
okay, that's what I was trying to get at.
Nah, you had your chance. You knew where I was going with this 4 years ago, whatever.
Huh. Interesting. Yesterday, making the rounds, I don't remember where this was, but somewhere on the internet, somebody posted the original Uncharted trailer, like before it even had a name. And it's just so crazy to watch it. Like, it looks so bad. Like, it just looks, and like, I mean, obviously early PS3, but it's just like crazy to see how far we've come. And I was just like, man, it sucks we're not going to get another Uncharted. You're making me believe, Greg.
Well, it's because you remember this report when this happened, like April 2018, where there was a job posting that went up on Reset Era, where it was, hey, like Sony San Diego is looking for this role that says it's working on a third-person action adventure game that'll work in conjunction with another studio, and then they went through and linked that to a LinkedIn profile that was a Sony San Diego person also putting Naughty Dog on there. So it gets around that Naughty Dog doesn't want to do Uncharted anymore. They want to move on and do different things. But it lets Sony still have Uncharted and still know what that means at a glance.
So what if it's not an Uncharted 5 or Uncharted reboot, but more like the Ratchet and Clank game? Like, there's a movie coming out, we're making a game in conjunction with the movie. Not based on necessarily, but in conjunction with it.
So
Like
in conjunction
Prince
with...
of Persia, The Forgotten
Yeah.
Sands.
Yeah,
kind
so
of
it's just happening around the same thing. I'm fine with that. That
Yeah.
counts.
But that movie's never going to come out, so that's...
Yeah, exactly. That's a silly thing. I don't think PlayStation Worldwide Studios, Herman's smart enough to know not to hitch his wagon to that thing.
He's now in charge of it.
I know, right? He's not going to be sitting there being like, oh, man, we got to wait for Marky Mark to get this thing out.
I love this. I love how bold it is. Now, the thing for me is I don't think it's going to happen. But
It's one of those that it's very much one of those rumors you want to believe is true. If you want more. I love the idea of Uncharted 4 was the final Uncharted, minus obviously.
Lost Legacy.
Thank you very much. I was blank on the subtitle. That's it. We're done with Uncharted. We're Naughty Dog. We can be that powerful that we can just say we're done with it and we want everybody to be done with it. And PlayStation go, okay, we respect that. But I understand PlayStation wants to make money and capitalize on a brand, especially if there is a movie eventually coming, keep it in the zeitgeist. And I think that this is the best compromise, where it would be that a studio is making it, they are lead in conjunction with Naughty Dog. They, I'm sure they chime in here and there. And like, yeah, use Sullivan or use Nadine as the Sullivan role. I think it'd be cool to have a female adventurer with Nadine be like her Sullivan. You
That'd
know
be
what I
cool,
mean?
yeah.
That kind of dynamic. And have them out there doing things. And then even the familiar face outside of Nadine be Drake's daughter in some thing. Maybe she's even like, like the tech person on the team or whatever at a younger age or whatever.
I like this, and I like it not being Naughty Dog doing it.
The thing that I don't know is, like, again, you want to believe, right, this 2018 stuff that went up and happened. It's just like, that seems like a big ask of, hey, Sony San Diego's second team now, right? The team that doesn't do the show anymore. Here's this thing for you to go do and have them go into like this premier franchise. But in the same vein, I don't think if you're Sony Bend, you don't want to do it again. If you're Sucker Punch, you don't want to do it. Like, you have we understand we're not Naughty Dog. We have aspirations though of our own stuff.
That's what I was thinking there when you were saying that. That was, I think actually Bend is a good fit for this. If they wanted to do
They already did it though.
they did it, and it was pretty acclaimed.
Yeah.
I personally didn't like it, but a lot of people did. Most Uncharted fans did.
Vita. I mean, we're talking about Golden Abyss, of course, on
Right.
the PlayStation Vita, launch game for the Vita.
And now they have like a bigger console game under their belt. They can theoretically, if they wanted to make an open world-ish, which they were already kind of experimenting with in Lost Legacy to begin with, like that kind of Uncharted game.
Well,
they're
but
good
even
for it.
there though, don't you think that they want to do Days Gone again?
I wouldn't want to
No.
do game.
Wait,
You
would
don't
they?
think so?
I don't.
No.
I mean, not Days Gone. Like maybe go at it with a new open world game.
I would bet not for this year these bets, but I think Ben's next game will be Days Gone 2 or
Really?
Days Gone whatever.
The game
I'd
did
be
sell okay.
surprised.
It's sold well, and again, as I've talked about a lot, and I've talked about it on I Love You, right, where I want to go back and play it now with try to platinum it and just see what's up. It's like critics thought very strongly about it in a negative way, and fans, it seemed, did not.
Yeah,
Fans
like,
came in there with such low expectations or whatever, and they were like, "This game's great."
There's an audience for that series now,
Yeah.
that IP. So
Yeah, and I mean, more power to them. Like, I never want games to fail or be bad or anything like that. So I'm happy that we have so many friends at Bend. I'm happy that they've found an audience, and I see John Garvin tweeting with fans all the time. I see Eric Jensen talking to fans all the time. Like, they are out there, and again, to Sony Bend's credit, like they continue to support that game. There are continual updates and DLC and
There's a
missions.
baby motorcycle recently.
Yes, well, you can get your baby motorcycle.
I feel like when faced with the choice of doing Days Gone 2 or doing a new Uncharted game, though, I feel like it becomes difficult.
You say that,
Yeah.
right? But I think and this is totally conjecture. I think that Sony Bend wants nothing more than to never work on somebody else's IP.
Yeah.
Because that was the problem with Golden Abyss, right? Where it was the redheaded stepchild. Sure, it's Uncharted. Sure, we loved it there, but like, you think it doesn't eat at them in some way that like it's the Uncharted collection without like not even a mention of Golden Abyss,
Yeah.
right? Not even no one's ever even tried to port it to PS4. It's just like that's the thing that happened and we don't care about it. And Naughty Dog, for as much lip service as they might have given it in the beginning, never talks about this. Never act. You know
The
what I
Arkham
mean?
Origins problem.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, why put yourself back in that situation after you've made your own IP that, again, sold well, has an audience?
That's what I
Didn't
like though
review
about
terribly.
the San Diego aspect of this. Where it's
Exactly
just kind
right.
of like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of gives them that step that, we've already seen Bend have.
And
We've
again,
already
it's you get,
seen-
and like, I forget, hold on, let me pull it up, because I have the link here from the old Reset Era stuff, where like the actual listing they put up, because it's talking about like, are you an experienced developer with a penchant for high-quality third-person action-adventure games? Do you
Yes.
enjoy PlayStation's library of games and top-tier studios? Have you always known how beautiful San Diego is, but never found an opportunity to live there? Like, driving home, right, them talking about the third person, the action-adventure, working in conjunction with another studio. Now, fuck, maybe I'm talking myself out of my own bet here. The other amazing, I'd be so happy with it, right, would be if they went the opposite way and it was another Infamous. Where it was like, hey, another franchise, a franchise that has a fan base, but way less expectation. You could do that and work with Sucker Punch and Brian and all them up there, Nate Fox.
Interesting. Your final prediction though.
Oh, I'm not changing my prediction. I think that like, especially for the way I say before the end of the year, right? Because I don't think I have another prediction eventually about next gen events and teases there, and then Game Awards, and I think that would be the more interesting one, right? Of PlayStation 5 event happens in the spring sometime, right before E3. Then you figure Last of Us Part 2 comes out. Then PlayStation 5 launches, and then Game Awards, right?
I'd say PSX more than Game Awards, but yeah.
You think they're doing PSX this year? Is that one of your predictions?
Honestly, it wasn't, but I think this is the year to bring it back, especially if they're not going to E3. It's going to be like...
I think they're too busy this year. I agree. I think it'd be awesome if they had an events team that was on lock about PSX. But every PSX I've ever heard about on the other side of the wall is very much like, whew, comes together last minute. A lot of people are juggling things they weren't expecting to be doing, yada, yada, yada.
I mean, it always felt like a latent initiative versus everyone else, but we'll see how they feel about it this year.
Yeah, we will.
Also, shout out to Patreon producer James Hastings.
Nice job.
Imran.
All right, let's keep the Sony train running because this is the one I just added because I just remembered. I think God of War 2 gets teased this year. I think they probably don't call it God of War 2, but also the other half of that prediction is not. We know it's not Cory Barlog. I think they bring back Stig. I think he comes.
You think he leaves Respawn?
Yes.
Wow.
This is crazy.
If it's to direct a new God of War, I think that's what they're going to do.
I don't know, man.
No way. I
'Cause
think
I
Corey
feel
won't
like-
leave that position, and I think
No, he already. They've said he's not directing the new one.
did
Have they not?
Yes.
Or have they said that?
He's not. They change God of War directors every game. He is not on the next game.
I don't think that.
I hadn't heard that.
I don't think they
I
said
am-
that. I know that
I'm
there's
not-
been a lot
I'm
of
not
like.
arguing.
I am nearly
I know his
positive.
tweets were coming out of him saying that, or like him kind of hinting that it might not be him. But I think that was just
Maybe
like
I'm
some Twitter-
completely wrong there, but my gut says they're probably bringing Stig back. Or somebody. They're bringing because it's not going to be David Jaffe. Like it's going to be. It'll be someone new, or not new, but like familiar with the series, but like is not the person who made the new one. I think Cory Barlog will stick on to write the script again, but I don't think he'll be directing the new game.
I'm not convinced it won't be him again. I think one more.
Yeah,
One more.
I looked up God of War 2 director and like try to look up through news. I don't see anything about like any confirmation that he's not returning for director role. So
Okay, I might maybe have heard that from somewhere else and was not sure, but
I mean, you make a good point that traditionally that's not how it is.
Yes.
I think, though, on both sides of this equation, Corey's too invested and now too much the face of God of War to not do it. And then I think on the other side, when they announced that Vince was going to take over the leadership of DICE LA, right? And he said in there, like, well, even at Respawn, I've been more the team captain. And he went through the different products, and he's like, Stig is the guy obviously leading Star Wars. I think that, especially off the success of Jedi Fallen Order, I assume they turn around and give them, like, let's go, let's make another one.
So here's my thinking on that, is that Respawn sounds like a great place to work, and yet still a bunch of people did end up leaving to go work on Call of Duty again.
Sure.
If you left from Infinity Ward to go to Respawn, we're like, hell yeah, we're free of Activision, we're finally doing our thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, this is not working out the way we think it is.
Yeah.
And then went back, then it doesn't sound like everything is sunshine and roses.
I don't know. It's maybe there's grass is greener, but I think I don't know. And again, I'm talking out my ass, but you would hope that like having that success gets you more creative freedom, gets you to continue the stories you want to do.
Yeah, I think coming off this year with Respawn or last year with Respawn, it's like I feel like they're going to be in a different place than
they are. Vince is definitely in a higher place in EA to be able to like smooth things over with that studio and whatever they really want to do. On the other hand, I also think that like Sony can write a blank check for whoever they want to get at this point. Like if they want to say like, hey, you're doing great at Respawn, would you rather just have a full studio for yourself?
That's true. I can see them wanting to make another Kojima type though with Corey.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
like continuing the legacy there to like really have a household name or not household.
PlayStation
you know what
definitely I feel like
Gamer
needs personalities because you've seen a lot of personalities leave recently. I think the thing that's interesting about this is that if you look at the two games, so Stig with Jedi Fallen Order and Corey with God of War, they both just released games that are the beginning arcs of their stories, like God of War 2 or God of War whatever it's called, and Jedi Fallen or Jedi colon whatever, right? The next one, Jedi 2, they're both going to be follow-ups, like story-wise, narratively, all that stuff, to the games they just released to kind of kick off these franchises. And so I find it shocking to think that both of them at the same time would kind of leave both those projects.
But you could also like compare it to Marvel movies that they change directors a lot, but they still have Kevin Feige and still at the top deciding where those stories go.
My thing about it is, I think it's way more likely for Stig to go. I feel like Cal's story ends in a more, and this, I don't mean insultingly, a more, all right, this is an ending that could go on or do whatever.
Yeah,
and also, it's not as personal. Whereas I feel Corey and Kratos and Atreus are so right now in the storyline interwoven, and there's still so much more to tell about them that I think PlayStation especially has to be like, you have to do this. What do we need to do to make this work? But like you said, it makes sense that he could still be the writer. He could still be like
EP.
Yeah, I don't even know, performance director, whatever, and then have a director.
Like the other thing too is like that game clearly took a lot out of him.
Totally.
And like emotionally, like health wise, like when you see him on explaining what that development was like, it was rough for him. So I could see him wanting to step back a little bit. Like I don't want to be hands-on for every single aspect of this game.
I agree with that.
Bless.
So sticking with the Sony predictions, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is revealed this year for PS5, but not for launch. It's dated 2021. However, there will be a Knack 3 game at launch.
My fucking man, let's go.
Yeah. And so like, for launch, like the reason I keep with the Knack 3 prediction is that I think there will have to be some sort of family game, obviously, at launch.
Will there? Because like,
I mean, I feel like you gotta have one, right? Like you can't just release a console without.
You could though.
Dreams.
I mean, Dreams could be that too, but Dreams
installed on every PS5 at launch.
Dreams is also kind of like a weird thing. Like, I guess you could associate that with family, but I feel like for PlayStation, I feel like you kind of want to hit all spots of like, here's your hardcore gamer game, here's your online game, here's I guess Dreams, and then also here's a family game to kind of pull people in, right? Like something that I can buy my kid and not have to worry about.
But people like, if you're just buying your kid a game and like don't really care what it is or really care necessarily quality about it, you just buy him like whatever you buy him Horizon or you buy him whatever.
Yeah, I still feel like for them, for their strategy, they'd want to be safe, right? They'd want to have at least something.
No, I understand the mentality. I just don't think it applies. I think the PS4 changed their mind about what their demographic they need to hit should be.
Interesting.
Like, they tried with Knack twice, and like, all right, this didn't work.
And it didn't work the first time though, and they went the second time, which makes me think that they have no shame and they'll go the third time. Like, and not even shame thing. It makes me think that they like Knack, or they like the idea of Knack, or that Mark Cerny has.
What do we need to do to keep you on?
Yeah,
He's like, you motherfuckers put me on a bus with Kojima to discover new technology. I get to make knack for as long as I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think there's something there. Like, and I could be totally wrong, and they go with Astrobot or something, which I think
That'd be
Astrobot
cool,
would
yeah.
make probably more sense. But
100%.
I'm going with Knack 3 because I think they're crazy enough to do it, and I don't think Horizon Zero Dawn 2 will be out. Well, I don't see that game coming out this year for some reason. Like, my gut doesn't tell me that game is coming out this fall.
I could definitely see it being in like the infamous window of a couple of months later.
Yeah.
Of, like, this is launch window.
Like, I
of-
can see it like
yeah.
spring next year.
Yeah. That
Howard.
sounds logical to me.
So with next gen, a lot of focus on exclusive titles. Let's get our new different studios under our belt, right? Microsoft's going to be out campaigning hard. They're going to keep acquiring. That's not what my prediction is. My
Are they?
prediction is PlayStation is going to acquire a studio, and that studio is Sega.
Oh, you're.
No, yeah, that's legit crazy.
Hell yeah, dude! Let's fucking
Could
go.
you imagine?
Yeah,
I could see them definitely making deals for things of like we're
going all out, man.
I don't
It's
think they're
theirs.
gonna buy.
We're buying it. You're ours. Sonic's ours, bitches.
That'd be crazy.
Sega's actually like quite a bit bigger than people think.
But that's the thing. It's just like, yeah, doubling down on all the Persona stuff, all of that.
Persona, Yakuza has always been associated with PlayStation.
Right.
Sonic.
Well, Sonic's not necessarily been associated with PlayStation, but like.
No, I'm sorry. I was misreading
As
this.
far as, like,
You're right, I
properties, yeah,
understand. I was
they
talking
bring-
about Sega in general. You're
But
right.
and then Street Fighter 5. Or no, that's
That's
Capcom.
Capcom.
Never mind.
Yeah.
They've been partnered forever. They've been doing a lot of that stuff. They already kind of have it, but let's make it official, just like they did with Insomniac.
But at that same time, it's like, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
I don't know, man.
Like,
Chocolate milk.
If if Atlas is not going to ever move Persona away, why risk it?
Headlines.
I do think they probably do a studio acquisition. I think it's probably like somebody Remedy sized, not necessarily Remedy. Like, I know they were sniffing around that at some point, but I don't know how far those talks ever really went. But I bet it's something like Remedy Insomniac style of like, hey, we worked with these guys for a long time. Now we're just going to own them. But I'm struggling to think who that would be in my head.
Greg Miller.
I have a couple oldies but goodies on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Last Guardian was re-revealed.
Oh, we released this? Really? Okay. Guess we're done.
Now this one, I'm dusting off from Kind of Funny Games Daily. If Bear will bear with me, but it needs to be on this official record. All right. WB Montreal's Batman game is Game Informer's March cover. We play it at GDC. It comes out in October. And let me correct you real quick. When I say play it, it'll be played in front of us. It's a hands-off demo.
Got it. I love how specific this is. What leads you to these specific
I am
things?
copying the Arkham Origins release / Arkham Knight. Because it used to be like for years, GDC was the spot where Warner Brothers always booked an appointment with me. And it alternated between being the Lego game, Rocksteady Batman / Origins. I don't know if it was Origins. Maybe it was. Rocksteady and Mortal Kombat. And like I haven't gotten pinged at all about it. This again, wouldn't predict it if I knew it. I just feel it in my balls. As it continues to go on, these teases on National whatever Cop Day, we're getting this
Yeah.
stuff. They got to do it soon, right? They got to do it soon.
I thought they would do it on National Penguin Day.
We did.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Turned out that was Martin Luther King Day though, so that was like
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, but they're basing these all off of like more made up holidays, right? Like National.
It's about being black and white.
in honor of National Penguin Day. Here's a new review, and like, everyone's like, "Fuck you guys."
But
Today is right.
but like also like National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, like that's a fucking made up holiday and shit, you know? Like
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut died today.
I would watch a Batman versus Mr. Peanut thing. Sure. Like a cartoon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Court of Nuts.
Hold on. I'm doing some research really quick.
What are you researching over there? Because so like what I am revealing right now is a bit like how Origins happened, right? Where it was a March cover for Game Informer, then released in October. And
Things
I'm
have
trying to
also
tie it
changed
in.
a lot in those 10 years.
Right.
Of
I
like,
know.
Game Informer doesn't really get reveal covers all that often anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they get really good covers, just...
But here's my thing: is WB is still very traditional.
Yeah.
Very traditional. I remember
And
those.
very
I
close
remember
to the
when we were at
chest.
IGN and how hard it was to shake certain publishers out of like, publishers out of like magazine cover doesn't matter. Why are you going to them? Like, we're bigger, we do this. And they didn't understand it.
I'm guessing, my official guess for a release date is August 4th.
For the game. I'm going to be playing, what?
National Owl Day.
Okay.
Is it a Tuesday or Friday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
All right, I'm head out.
Thanks for the hire.
I love it.
So to itemize your prediction a little bit more, if
Sure.
you want to take this opportunity.
Oh, sure. I like this. Double or nothing.
Do you want to say the platform you think it'll release on? Platforms.
Oh, current. PlayStation
Okay.
4, Xbox One, PC.
You don't see it coming out on next gen?
Stadia will be out in 6 months. No, I don't think they hold for next gen. I think this is the traditional struggle we go back with all the time of I'm WB, I want money, I want it on
Install
I
base.
want it on the 180 million units for these. I'm not even
Yeah.
counting PC, I'm just counting consoles there, right? Like, yeah, put it out there. Let's
I think
do it
they'll
out
also
there.
do like a next gen version at some point if a game comes out.
Well, I think
this
next
year.
gen is reserved now for Rocksteady. Where I think you do the Arkham Knight model with them,
Yeah.
where we get to 2021 and then, or maybe even Game Awards have a Rocksteady reveal there, as we always say, and then run into the next year of like, all right, cool, it's a run up to this.
It's gonna be that same guy, Rocksteady, who, what's his name? The one who always tweets before every show, like, Rocksteady's not gonna be
Hey
there,
guys, just so
sorry.
you know, we're not there. Please calm down. We're sorry.
Sefton Hill.
Sefton Hill.
Yeah.
I think we get a reveal in May.
I don't think we're gonna wait that long. I think we'll get a reveal probably
No,
early April, late
No,
March.
okay, yeah, I would say April. I'm not feeling good about March.
What? Okay.
March is a sucker.
See, now you're in this landmine though, right? Or minefield of like, again, where is the PlayStation 5 event happening, right?
Yeah,
Is that, like Greg Miller says, May? Is that March or February? Like everybody still thinks is happening in 2 weeks, as if they wouldn't have told us you have to be
Still
in New
think,
York or
man.
wherever in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see.
Imran.
All right, I'm gonna go something more specific this time. For Smash Brothers, I don't know if this is gonna be 2020 or within the next, because the Fighter Pass has just been revealed. So I'm gonna count it as this year. I think we either get Master Chief or Sora.
Or it's an or situation.
Yes, I think it's one of those two. I think that this Fighter Pass probably has one big anchor. It's gonna be one of those two characters.
If Master Chief is revealed, I'm eating this cup. I cannot see it. Sora would be awesome.
I mean, Banjo is in that game.
Yeah,
like,
but I feel like Banjo. I feel like Japanese audiences accept Banjo a bit more because I feel like Banjo.
they don't know who the fuck he
Yeah,
is.
no.
Wait,
I don't
really?
think so.
You don't-
Yeah.
They weren't playing on the S64 back in the day.
No.
I mean, the game came out, but no one really like.
I feel like Master Chief is even way more foreign though.
Yeah, but like I feel like this fighter, like the Fighter Pass we just saw, proved that doesn't matter at all.
Really?
Like getting Banjo is kind of like, yo, there's simply no rules.
Interesting.
Like
Yeah.
especially even now with like their Miis, but like Sans and Cuphead, it's like I feel like Sakurai's just like I just want representation of different games.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's Sans.
Sans.
Sans. Like Comic Sans.
I still would be shocked to see Master Chief.
I would be shocked to see either of them.
Yeah.
I expect both.
I'd be
Really?
I feel like there is such discourse around the remaining characters and like Smash, like who would even be hype anymore? And it's like we have so few people that like hit on that level.
Yeah.
And Sakurai saying that they already chose it. I really think that the conversations happened for Sora. The conversations happened for Chief.
Yeah, no, they absolutely approached Disney about it once.
So it's like, will this go down? I don't know, but
Is it Disney that's keeping Sora from being in
Yes,
Smash?
Disney Japan specifically.
I think it's gonna happen. I think both. But I like where your head's at.
I think Master Chief is probably the bigger holy shit moment. Like Sora shows up there, it's like, oh, it's cool they got him. I'm surprised they did that.
Sora would
I feel
break
like,
the internet.
Yeah, no.
man.
I feel like Sora would pop up. Like I think Master Chief would be more impressive if they got him in, or like not even impressive, but like I'd be shocked at that decision. But Sora as like a moment, I feel like would pop off. Like, I
Sora
feel
would
like-
just be insane. Like
Yeah.
the Kingdom Hearts fan base and Smash Reveal fan base are like so they're huge.
That
you know?
Venn diagram too.
There-
Yeah.
There are two
There's
fan
something
bases
there.
that like invest emotionally very heavily into these two franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Master Chief, I think, is just more popular in general. Like maybe it's eased off over the last like couple of years because Halo has not been on the up and up. But like I think if they did show Master Chief, it would be like this huge pop for like holy shit, this
Yeah.
is everything except Sony into this one game. I mean that's true.
Well,
Except it
I
even
mean,
does still have some
Snake
Sony
and
because like
Cloud.
Snake, Cloud,
Yeah.
Joker.
Which do you
Yeah.
feel like would
Yeah.
get the bigger response from like the Nintendo NY store?
Sora.
That's what I think too.
I think
I
Master
agree.
Chief.
I agree. But
Yeah.
I think you get bigger headlines with Master Chief.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yes and no. It's like, what does bigger headline mean? More comments on the article? More views? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there'd be more discussion in the IGN pool of people for Master Chief. There'd be way more comments, way more discussion about Sora on the internet. Like the amount of the size of the thread on Reset Era would be 2 times, 3 times as long for Sora than Master Chief.
To be clear, Sora's this clown from Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah.
Master Chief's way bigger. It just is an icon. Like that's enough. I mean, like the comment thread, sure. The Reset Era thread, sure. I'm with you on that. But I mean, the fact that just the people who understand and don't even play games that much anymore understand that like the Smash Brothers is a Nintendo thing. This is the face of Xbox.
Right.
He's coming over and doing this. That would make waves that way. That I think you have a chance of being on Good Morning America or whatever is like the blip talk. And there's like gonna be like this fucking thing that has a keyblade from this game is here. I don't remember who. I don't know.
I think Master Chief
Give me a
also,
lineup of Sora. I'll pick Tifa. It doesn't matter.
Master Chief goes along with what Microsoft is trying to do of saying like, hey, we're democratizing our games now. There can be anywhere. If you want to play Halo Infinite, it can be on any system you want to play it on. So by saying, hey, we're also putting Master Chief in Smash Brothers, there's also rumors of a Master Chief collection on Switch. Like that seems like it dovetails pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in. I love it.
Game Pass.
Bless.
At Bethesda's E3 press conference, we get a breakdown of Starfield, showing off gameplay, systems, and how the game will follow and exceed the foundation set by Fallout and The Elder Scrolls. And at the end, Starfield is dated for 2021 for PS5 and Xbox Series X.
I like it.
I like that
Yeah.
one.
I like it a lot.
So think a lot like how the Fallout 4 was revealed at E3. We get that, except it's not this fall. It's gonna be like next year. That's essentially what I'm banking on.
Yeah,
What do they say about Fallout 76?
Oh, they say nothing.
Oh my god! Not an official prediction. No
NPCs still coming. Are they out yet?
Nope, they are not out yet.
They will definitely say something. They have to.
they're gonna talk
They're
for
their
sure.
conference guy. They're gonna go through every single damn thing. There's gonna be more cats than ever.
What?
I feel like they said things like they like. I
Last
feel
year?
like this last E3, right?
Yeah, they announced NPCs.
They announced NPCs and they kind of try to bring it back. And after that, we got more controversy and stuff getting pushed. And I feel like
In the Fallout Pass.
if that stuff doesn't get totally
Fallout
fixed by the time we get to this E3, them bringing it back up and being like, "Hey guys, sorry again." I feel like that.
That's why you got to get the NPCs out you get them out in March and then be able to have that. Hey, yeah, last year we came out and we talked about NPCs coming. They've come. The reaction's been amazing. Put up tweets and like fucking things. We've learned a lot. The stupid pass we have, the private server crap.
And then now our 5-minute Elder Scrolls Online segment that we have every year.
Yeah. And here's Blades? Is that the mobile game?
Yeah.
Show more of that.
That's on Switch now, isn't it? Or something?
Is it coming to Switch? Blades? I
It's
forget
either
what that
on
was.
or coming to. I know
It's
they
coming.
announced,
They announced that at the conference, right? That it was coming to Switch as well.
I think I was asleep.
It's a thing that's like it has so little like foundation in my head. I cannot surprise that it like slipped off somewhere.
All right, guys.
They delayed it from 2019 to 2020. Blades for Switch.
So any day now.
Yeah.
Just hold your breath.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2. Mm-hmm. We're getting some nits, some grits here. Will be 2020.
Oh, you wild.
Playable
Breath of
Zelda
the Wild.
has a big focus of the game as well. Not just like, there's a bit like not like Mary Jane or some shit in Spider-Man. Like,
Sure.
Zelda is going to be a playable character.
Gotcha.
And the game's title, this is a weird one, but it will either be Breath of the Wild 2, something like actually have the 2. It's going to be closely related to Breath of the Wild. Like they're going to want to get that in
Yeah.
there. It could be Breath of something else
Breath of
or
fresh
something
air.
else wild. But like I'm going with Breath of the Wild 2. It's going to be more closely title related than we've ever seen from a Zelda game before. 2020 playable Zelda.
I think there'll probably be playable Zelda. I think it'll be segments versus like the Mary Jane kind of thing for Spider-Man. Of like, she's technically playable, but in like these spots. I think that's the way they go for it. I also think the map is misleading. I bet they don't reuse the same map as it was. I bet it's like a Dark World kind of version.
Yeah, I'm predicting, and I'm going to add on top of this because I'm like the ball and rolling here. I think we see a return of traditional dungeons in this game.
Oh, God.
Easy.
They have
That's
Yeah.
And I
No
think
brainer.
I think the way they do this, because you see in the trailer they're like exploring underground and shit. I think not like a Dark World situation. I think we're gonna do like a lot of like underground like cave exploring kind of shit underneath the world of Hyrule.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
streets beneath Hyrule is
Yep.
built on old Hyrule or
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like every Zelda game, they've been incredibly reactive to criticism of the last one. Maybe they're a little too reactive, maybe they're not reactive about the right things, but usually when they get feedback, they change things up. And the biggest criticism of Breath of the Wild was there's no dungeons.
Yeah.
So for sure, they're going to have some traditional structure to this one.
I like that. I mean, I'm still iffy on if it's going to come out this year. I don't think it'll be out this year, but I'm with you on everything else. I like the idea of a playable Zelda. I have the theory that the whole game takes place underground. Like they just do like a whole new open world that's underground. But I like the idea that it's dungeons that are underground. I think that makes more sense.
I think that would be I think that would be because especially there's like an area from Skyward Sword that is all like kind of underground that got unearthed and shit in Breath of the Wild. So I feel like that they explore more of that concept of maybe not revisiting actual old locations from older games, but having that concept of like, oh shit, like we built on top of like the ground of other shit.
That's what I was wondering if you thought that was even a possibility. If like the underneath Hyrule would be like N64's Hyrule,
Yeah.
right? Like you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
There are teases of like in Breath of the Wild 1 of like that kind of shit happening. So
But I don't think they like totally eschew the open air mentality of that game. Like the idea that you can just bump off wherever is part of Breath of the Wild. So I don't think they eliminate that
You
to
can
be
dig wherever, dude. You can climb any mountain. You can go as deep as you want. Greg Miller, what's your next one?
It's been a long time coming, Tim Gettys.
Yeah, it has.
But it's time.
God damn it, Greg. At E3, The Rock will come out.
Okay, I don't think, sir, that's what I would say. At the Game Awards, at the Game Awards 2020, The Rock appears and announces the first video game produced and published by 7 Bucks Productions. I'm sorry, published by 7 Buck Productions.
I hope it's just his own Fast and Furious game that's different from the other Fast and Furious
Yeah,
games.
his spin-off.
He announces a Hobbs and Shaw game.
No.
Fuck family.
That does not
I
happen.
love it, but I love him just like, you gotta one up Vin, dude.
Yeah, and that's
you gotta do it.
And that's the thing where Keeley knows that. He's already kind of got this line with him having the Jumanji stuff happen, right? That's happened 2 years. Now you get him out there to talk about, the game, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
7 Buck Productions right there all over everything. They got TVs, they got movies, they got tequila. Video games clearly their next market to get in there. And so I'm not saying he's coming out and being in the game. He will be. He's not, but I'm not saying that. It's him coming out. Everybody going fucking nuts. Billy Joe from fucking Green Day fucks off. Nobody cares about him. The Rock's here. And he's like, I want to show you the trailer for the first game we're publishing from 7 bucks or whatever. There you go.
I love it.
Did you ever play Spy Hunter 3? The Rock was in
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
I know. I'm trying to think if I reviewed it. I don't think so.
I love what these
They
moments happen.
should they should do a Cyberpunk expansion that has The Rock instead of Keanu Reeves as like
Well,
one of
that's
the
mean to
faction
Keanu.
leaders.
Don't be mean to Keanu.
No, Keanu's fine. He's in the main game.
Okay,
But do the
fair,
expansion as
fair.
well.
It's just, and that's the
It's
problem.
gonna happen
the
eventually.
problem
You're
with
gonna
getting
get this one day.
It's just so hard to get Rock into games because he's so busy. You know what I mean?
Doesn't
Get
he
him
hate
in that
being called
mocap
Rock
stuff.
now?
No, DJ doesn't mind. Don't worry about it.
Imran.
All right. Let me throw one out here that I think is a pretty decent bet. Final Fantasy XVI will be announced this year.
Whoa.
Now, I had that as well. What do you think it is? Do you think it's the Agnes Philosophy thing they showed in 2012?
Yeah, that like tech trailer they did of like a more fantasy looking thing, but
Let's
like
get fucking hyped. Son.
Yeah, I think it's
looks
that.
awesome. I want this so bad.
and like when you think about it, how many Final Fantasy 15 was re-revealed technically at E3 2013. Yeah, so it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
Like during
That's crazy.
Game Informer will gladly talk about this, but when they were on the Final Fantasy 15 trip, they saw things that have yet to be revealed. I get the feeling that they've been working on 16 for a while. So it's hard to say, especially with like Avengers being pushed back and Final Fantasy 7 being pushed back a little. Like, does that still fit into the same like idea for an E3 kind of reveal for that? But I would bet if not an E3 reveal, then a PSX reveal.
I'm with you. I think it's E3.
Yeah. I think it's E3, and I think it's going to be like, hey, this is the technology we've got. We're not going to be caught flat-footed with our engines again. We're not going to take 5 years to release a game. This thing comes out 2021, 2022.
Yep. I'm with all that.
Interesting.
It'll get delayed.
Interesting.
Yeah, sure.
This is the year that it happens. This is the year. This is the year Nintendo finally gives the N64 the respect it deserves. Am I right, Barrett?
Now, what way are you going here? Are you going classic or are you going?
Give me a mini. Give me an N64
So
mini.
we finally get the announcement and release of the N64 Classic Mini console. They've partnered with Microsoft and Rare to get access to those titles. That's titles like Banjo-Kazooie, titles like Diddy Kong Racing, Perfect Dark. We get those, right? We get those awesome Rare titles because, like, come on, half the best games on N64 were Rare games. So we're getting those for the classic
Force
system.
Gemini?
Jet Force Gemini. I don't know if we'll get it, but I would love for it to be on there because it's one of the better ones.
Man, you had me in the first half, definitely. But
You don't like Rare?
No, I'm saying, like, I don't think we're getting an N64 Mini, man. I think we're going to get N64 games on the Switch like we've gotten with NES and SNES.
See, I'd be with you, but they've been slow about releasing the SNES games on the Switch, which makes me think they want to stretch it out a little bit.
But every September they usually announce something to like keep people subscribed because that's the year date of when NSO started.
Yeah, Tetris 99 too.
I lean with Barrett a bit more here. I think it's the Switch Online because I think that the N64 Mini will just get prohibitively expensive because it's built so
There's
much.
there's a lot going on
And
there.
4 controllers, you're gonna really need.
And
it.
like a mini controller of
buy
that
it. I'll
disastrous
buy it.
N64 controller,
I'll
like
buy it.
nah.
And like you can't have GoldenEye on it, which is a problem.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that
You
is.
can't have the wrestling games on it.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
the fighting games for the N64.
But I feel like you can get enough there that is like Smash Brothers, Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time.
There's definitely enough
like,
games,
like
yeah.
Mario Party.
But
like,
I do think it's also more realistic enough for them to partner with Microsoft to get Rare games. But I don't even know if they need, because like they were able to re-release Donkey Kong 64 on the Wii U and shit.
yeah, but like that's
so-
DK64. though.
Yeah, they own Donkey Kong 64
Yeah,
for Perfect
yeah,
Dark and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that. They
yeah,
need.
Yeah, and
Microsoft.
Diddy Kong Racing. Like
And
Diddy Kong
I
Racing
think that's
is a weird
more
one 'cause,
realistic
like,
for an online situation.
On the
for
other hand,
N64
what if they just
Online.
released Rare Replay on Switch?
that also. So I was also thinking about that, which I think would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be totally into that.
Yeah,
And I think that's still like I think that's
I think that's a
likely.
smarter option. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's likely as well.
But I don't see it happening this year for some reason. I feel like it's too soon. I feel like they got to flirt a little bit first, and then we get to second base.
They've matched
third
on
base.
Tinder. We still gotta
How
like.
these bases work.
I forget what the bases are.
Let's see. Grand Theft Auto 6
Oh?
Oh, that was on mine too.
What?
will be announced.
What?
Y'all are wild.
Will be announced.
Yeah.
It will have single player, despite some people thinking it's going to be online only. It will have single player. Single player will be Vice City.
Like a Vice City setting or like.
Vice City setting.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So,
I think
period piece again in the 80s, or was in Vice City modern?
I'm going to say modern
Okay.
because I think that it's going to start with Vice City, but I think they're going to try to turn GTA 6 into a world of GTA where the online isn't just adding things, they're adding areas that you can go to and travel between. So they will add San Andreas, they will add Liberty City.
I mean, we're further away from the 90s now than Vice City was from the 80s when it came out. Like, they could do a 90s game, and I think it would be.
well, they
a
did
nice-
90s already with San Andreas.
True. Okay, then yeah, I totally.
I just
that being
think I think
90s.
you need to make it modern if you're going to add the other cities, because unless you come up with time travel, which I don't think they're going to do. They could. It could just not.
I mean, they
matter.
have the DeLorean in that game, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything's possible.
I do think GTA 6 is because we got that story out the other day of Take-Two is or not Take-Two, 2K. One of them, Take-Two, I guess, is the one that's like pressuring Rockstar to return back to their normal development schedule. Because like this one game a generation thing is not working for them. Even though GTA 5 has made a lot of money,
not
it'll
working.
stop. It will eventually. Well, they want to make more money, and the way to make more
God,
money
how greedy can you be?
for a corporation, quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of being a corporation.
But like if you want the same effect for next generation of this same old game is selling forever, it's not going to be GTA 5 forever. It's going to be a
We
new
didn't
game.
have a GTA this generation.
No, yeah, it's only been Red Dead. That's the
Like,
only
that's
Rockstar
crazy.
game.
What's happened?
Yeah, I think GTA 6 is going to be like a teaser of like, yeah, this is if you want to finish the generation off strong, this is it.
When did Red Dead Redemption 2 get announced? Like how long before was it? Because if we
That
take-
was October 2016, because that was like the first week I started at IGN.
Yeah, it was the same weekend the Switch was revealed, or same day actually.
was
Yeah,
it really?
It was.
Right.
Wait, was
that
it
was
really?
That was like a crazy ass week, and that
That's
was like
a
my
crazy day.
Yeah.
So GTA 5 was released in fall 2013. Then we got the trailer for Red Dead in 2016, and then the game was released in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And so in my head, GTA 6 is probably 5 years away.
Right. But Red Dead is like it's a collaborative effort between all the Rockstar studios, but it's not the main. It was the Red Dead team, right? Not the GTA team. Am I wrong?
Are they not the same thing? I always just assume they're like.
There's like a Rockstar San Diego. Am I?
No, you're 100% right. Rockstar San Diego, did Red Dead.
Yeah. So there is still a UK Rockstar team.
North is the one who does GTA.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So they've got to be. I don't think they've only been working on GTA Online for the last 6 years.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no way. No way.
They've been working on. They've been on. Rockstar
doing
North
a
has
lot,
been
yeah.
working on Grand Theft Auto 6.
So what do you guys think about location?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think Vice City makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Because like they did Liberty City in 4, San Andreas in 5. Granted, like if they were on a regular rotation, I feel like Vice City would have came before San Andreas in that rotation. But either way, I think the next plausible place.
The only
plausible place would be Vice City.
The only thing I wobble on is if it's modern day Vice City, like a modern day Miami, or if it is a 80s again Vice City. But as we've got, even though it's probably 80s.
Yeah.
I start
like
trying to talk myself out of it. Like we're saying, we're so far from the 80s now. There's still such a beloved 80s culture vibe, and like people have such a soft spot, myself included, for the original Vice City that. That is what makes, and you want a fucking banger-ass soundtrack, people doing coke, giant cell phones, Phil Collins, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think the thing about 90s San Andreas versus current day, I guess, Los Santos, is that, like, I feel like there's still a lot culturally there that you can kind of pull from. Not that there's not anything culturally from Miami, of course there is, but, like, I feel like when you think of Vice City and you think of the 80s and you think of what the inspirations were for Vice City, it makes more sense for that game to take place in the 80s than in the present. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I just think that
I like the idea of the world, though.
I think the world thing has to happen, and I think that it gets weird if you have time frames, but it could just not. Miami could just be 80s.
I mean, honestly, they could do whatever they wanted with it, and like it would sell a bajillion copies. So it's a question of how ambitious they're particularly feeling about that story and about that world.
Greg.
Still thinking about Vice City, sorry.
Yeah, well, as you're thinking, let me tell you about our sponsors. This episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Honey. Online shopping is supposed to be easy, so why is it so hard to find coupon codes that actually work? If you're using Honey, it's not that hard at all. I've been using this for years. Joey's been using it for years. It's this extension. You just get it in your browser. When you're online shopping at the stores that you're already looking at, they automatically just give you coupons that you can apply in the cart, saving yourself money. I have saved hundreds of dollars. Kind of Funny has saved thousands of dollars using this, and it's so easy. My favorite part is just you don't even need to think about it. It just automatically does it for you. When you check out, this little box drops down. All you have to do is click apply coupons. It's seriously that simple. Honey has found its over 18 million. It has saved its 18 million members over $2 billion. Wow, Barrett, that's right. Did you know that Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, and they're adding more every day? Like, that's the craziest thing. It's like you would expect the Best Buy and Target and Walmart, like those type of things, but it's even in like smaller shops too. Like it pretty much any time that I'm buying something online, Honey's helped me out. Not using Honey is literally passing up free money. It's free to use and installs in just 2 clicks. You can get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/kinda. That's joinhoney.com/kinda. Next, shout out to Quip. Makers of the Quip electric toothbrush want you to know the one single discovery that matters most for your dental care. It's simply this: that you have good habits, then you're good. That's all you need. And they make it even easier to have those good habits. There's a 2-minute timer in this toothbrush. Every 30 seconds, it vibrates a little bit, letting you know, oh, that sonic pulse, that means I need to switch quadrants of my mouth to make sure that I'm getting a nice, even, clean. Brushing for 2 minutes twice a day, flossing regularly, no matter what brand you use. Quips makes it easy, starting with electric toothbrush, refillable floss, and anti-cavity toothpaste. They send it to you. You don't even need to think about that. You just sit home. Next thing you know, you hear the knock on your door. You open it up. You're getting your tooth brushed. Plus, Quip delivers free brush heads, floss, and toothpaste refills to your door every 3 months with free shipping, so your routine is always right. You can join over 3 million healthy mouths and get Quip today, starting at $25, just like I do. Most people here are kind of funny using Quip. Other people, dirty mouths. If you go to getquip.com/KF right now, you'll get your first refill pack free. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/KF, getquip.com/KF. Quip, the good habits company. And finally, shout out to Upstart. Between hitting the gym, eating cleaner, or learning a new skill, there's a lot of ways you can better yourselves in the new year. But one of the most important ways you can do is tackling high-interest credit card debt. Over at Upstart.com, they're here to help. Upstart's the revolutionary lending platform that offers smarter interest rates to help you pay off high-interest credit card debt. One of my really good friends going through some issues right now. Upstart made it all easy for him to consolidate everything into one place. Could not be simpler. Upstart believes you're more than just your credit score. They believe in you. They look at your education, your job history. They give you smarter rates based on that. Fantastic. The best part, once the loan's approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit card debts or meet their financial goals. So you can see why Upstart is ranked number one in the category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot. And hurry to upstart.com/kindafunny to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. That's upstart.com/kindafunny.
No matter what you do, I'm still thinking about it. And it gets interesting of like, GTA 5 online, me and Kev tried to make it work for us and it never clicked, right? But I really do feel if it was 80s GTA Online, all that Technicolor, all these fucking crazy ass cars, driving around in DeLoreans, that I know you can do that in GTA 5, but that would be like, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
That could be really, really cool. I think this is a bold one if it's a boring one, though, too. But I'm going to say it all the same, right? And just put it out there. Marvel's Avengers delayed to 2021.
Wow.
I think it keeps sliding.
Wow.
Do you think it's because it's in trouble, or?
I think it's because, yeah. Yeah. I think it's a very ambitious project they've taken on. I think the fact that there was so much confusion at its reveal. That's gotten better as we've gone. Clearly, we've seen presentations. You played it at PAX, right? Or you've played it?
I played it before.
So, like, the fact that, though, we've still only played the single-player intro, right? Like, I feel like that game's going to benefit from a big, hey, everybody, let's sit you all down. It's a press event where it's, you're here for half a day and you're going to play some single player, then you're going to stop, then we're going to jump you 8 hours ahead in the game, 9 hours ahead in the game, have you go through with different characters and play these, what do they call them, Warzone missions or whatever, the ones where you're playing with other Avengers and stuff. The fact that we're out of time already in their lead up to this delay, I also just don't think that they're to a place to show that for this September launch. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I can see it launching. But I also think it's that they don't want to do the normal launch thing of, we're launching a live service game. Oh, it's not. It's getting 6s and 5s right now with the asterisks that it might get better eventually. Like, I think they being Crystal Dynamics, an incredibly talented studio that I love most of their games. I mean, they're Tomb Raider games. And then Marvel Games, who does not want to have a failure or have their image besmirched, right? Especially after Spider-Man and Ultimate Alliance, right? Like, they can do different things with varying levels of quality and not have it all be like, oh, it's got to be Spider-Man quality. But I do think that this is Avengers and you can't fuck this up. And you don't want to fuck it up out of the gate, right? Especially if there are smaller things to do, right? Like if the story's awesome, but they need to tweak gameplay for single player stuff, but then also figure out how that tweaks into the multiplayer stuff. There's just so many if this, then that conversations that I feel take your time, put it out in spring, and also then you the benefit of next gen in terms of it's backwards compatible on Xbox, so it looks better here, and or it's backwards compatible both ways. I'm sorry, on Xbox, and you can do that. And I don't know. I feel like out of all of them, like in the same way when we were leading up to Iron Man, I was like, I feel like I should have seen more Iron Man by now. I feel like I should have seen more Avengers by now. And as we get going, there's plenty of time now till September to see more, and be proven wrong, and yada yada yada. But I don't know.
I think the reaction to that game caught them off guard by quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think they didn't realize how, people just didn't want that kind of game, that structure of game for an Avengers game.
Yeah.
I also suspect that at some point, Square Enix, just knowing how they work, they're going to go, this needs to come out. We can't.
That's true too.
We put so much money into this.
Well,
it's a live service game. Their schedules and Marvel is breathing down our neck.
I was going to say the real wrinkle to it is Marvel. It's not even Square being like, we've sunk a lot of money into this. I imagine when you sign a deal with Marvel, there are milestones to hit, and this game has to be passing them one by one in terms of where it should be and what it should be doing. And so if that's happening, that's costing a lot of money. And what do you do? How do you cut it off? Blah blah blah. I don't know. But I thought when March got announced, I was in the same boat of it's going to come out because they just need to get it out at this point, and they can fix it on the back end and keep going and make it into whatever they want it to be. But when they push it again, it's like, okay, well, where was the real deadline? When was this game supposed to come out?
I think for a live service game, you take the hit from when the first initial reviews are bad, But if you can create a narrative that, oh, this game is way better now, you can recover from that.
Sure.
So they might be banking on that. Like, and also it could just be good in September. Like,
Of
that's
course,
also possible.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like I want to play that game. We've talked about this, right? Where you're like, Tim, this is not my kind of game. But when you see it or you play it, you're like, I'm interested. I want to try this. Maybe this will be my first Destiny.
It's Avengers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you already are kind of going in. There's a hook, you know?
Yeah.
I think that you're being too optimistic about the way that they think about this. I think that they would just put it out and get the bad reviews anyways. And it's just like, I like the idea of them launching this live service game and having it actually work. I think it's coming September.
Okay, we'll see. It's one of those things like you figure it's got to be on their books, a big part of their books and fiscal year, right? And so when you move to September, you've already blown past the fiscal year.
No,
so-
it was originally May, so it moved to September, so they were fine.
Oh, right. I thought it was March. I'm sorry.
Final
May-
Fantasy VII
May
moved out of
15th.
fiscal year.
Yeah.
That's what
that
I
was
was
the big
sorry.
one.
My apologies.
Yeah.
Imran.
I think, going on that same train of thought, there is zero way that Marvel did not approach Microsoft about a thing. I think that game will be shown. I think that's the Initiative's first game.
Oh,
I love
fuck,
it.
I got
Imran.
chills, dude.
I love
I
it.
got fucking chills.
Because
Oh,
they
man.
approached Sony for Spider-Man, then they went to Nintendo and was like, hey, do you want to do New Ultimate Alliance? They just went to those two and they didn't go to Microsoft? Or Microsoft turned them down? Neither of those sound likely.
All right.
That's insane.
What is it?
That's a different question.
Ant-Man.
You know what? Based on the people who work at the Initiative, which is a lot of veterans in the shooter shooter area, I think they can make a fucking amazing Doctor Strange game.
Huh.
Oh man,
That's interesting.
I'm into that.
Fuck. This
But
is
I
great.
just like Doctor
This is a
Strange.
great pick, Imran, and I can't. I
like
hope
Magic.
Because I'm not going to use it as a prediction, right? I said at the E3 at the Xbox E3 conference, the first trailer for the Initiative's game is shown. It blows this away. It's modern day. It's third person action. It's us running around the streets. It's narrative focus. And you saying Marvel is such a great yes, that makes perfect sense. And having Drew Murray, formerly of Insomniac, over there doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? And like you want to talk about Drew being one of the faces of Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like, and Ninja Theory has just announced their new game, so they're probably not working on something else.
Yeah.
The Coalition is just a Gears of War studio.
What happened to the Square Enix Guardians of the Galaxy game? Is that still?
That was always rumored.
Oh, it was always
Yeah.
rumored.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think
There
it
was
just-
never an official confirm.
Yeah, it was just,
confirm.
what happened, I think, was that just became Avengers. Like,
Yeah.
what we thought was Guardians of the Galaxy turned out to be Avengers.
I think
I also wonder.
I think Guardians might be a good sell.
Yeah.
Yeah. What gets? Oh man.
Is
know.
Initiative
What gets
the
Harry is I
population?
never thought Guardians became Avengers. I thought that
It was two.
Well, I don't think it
separate
became.
entities.
I think that we heard rumors about a Marvel property. We assumed Guardians. It turned out to be Avengers.
but it was always Eidos
always
Montreal,
knew
right? It was
originally.
always, yeah. Yeah, even when we were talking anyways, I thought that as Avengers keeps moving back, Guardians keeps going, fuck, we got to move back too with them. But then that fucks up
that's-
the Initiative announcing anything too.
The Initiative is Microsoft's quadruple A studio that they.
Yeah, the one
Yeah,
they put
Santa
in.
Monica.
Yeah.
Does a Marvel game sound like a quadruple A?
Spider-Man was. Spider-Man is one of the most expensive games I have ever seen.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair.
So yeah, who would
I like
this
it.
be?
And I think Guardians. Guardians makes sense. Because it has to be top. Oh,
What? Give it to me, Tim. Give it to me, Tim.
Wolverine.
Oh.
Yes.
Fuck
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah.
I play the fuck out of that for sure.
Yeah. Because it has to be a top tier character that would just sell no matter what. There are very few of those that are in that league. And I think Spider-Man, Avengers, Guardians, because the movies are there too. Doctor Strange, not on that level. Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Wolverine
Oh
game.
my god.
Done like that's like, hey, we're telling you a real story. We're
Yeah.
really doing this. Fuck yeah.
Oh. I love it. I love it. Bless, what's your next one?
Oh man. So I feel like we were saving our next gen ones for the last punch.
Hey, don't worry about
Do
it.
whatever. We're like-
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that one. Amazon or Facebook will launch a video game streaming service to compete with Stadia and xCloud. More likely Amazon.
Amazon's already they were sniffing around it recently. Like they made some hires. But I think so. They're definitely going to do it. I don't know when it's going to. Is it going to be like what they're doing with their defunct Amazon Game Studio, or I don't know. But
I mean, I don't know how. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know the details of it. I just think it's gonna happen from either Amazon or Facebook.
I could see it. I think. I mean, this is kind of like a separate prediction, but I think those streaming wars are going to really heat up next year and
Yeah.
then fall apart immediately. It's going to be like one or two people surviving.
No, yeah, for sure. I'm with you too. Who do you think those people are? xCloud probably for sure.
I think xCloud and Amazon are probably xCloud for sure, Stadia or Amazon for the other one. Mm-hmm. I can see one of them just being the backbone for like whatever Steam's solution is.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see it. Let's see.
What you got, Timothy?
I'm gonna bring some spice. You know what I mean? I want to bring some fun here.
Powerpuff
all right?
Girls.
That's the Marvel game.
Bluepoint's next game is announced. It is not Demon Souls. It is Metal Gear Solid, baby. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. Will it into existence? You know what I mean? You guys got to dream bigger. You just got to believe. We've gotten everything we ever wanted. With the Year of Dreams
really
turned
want a
into
Demon Souls
Year of
remake.
Dreams 2, Year of Dreams 3, Decade of Dreams. We're just here. Dream bigger, guys. Metal Gear Solid.
Make it in dreams.
Yeah, I was gonna say Metal Gear Solid in Dreams. I'm into it.
I love that. I'd love that.
Let's go. Like, this is separate from related to that prediction. Does everyone think that it is Metal Gear Solid? What do they think that Bluepoint remake is?
I mean,
I don't think it's Metal Gear Solid. That's my hope. But I don't think it is.
I think it is Demon Souls.
I do too, but it's also because that's the chatter.
Yeah.
All the chatter is Demon Souls, so it's at this point it's one of those like, oh, that's what it is. I have a very lame version of that is just like blue. I crossed it off or deleted it, but I had it in there somewhere that Bluepoint's thing is not. Oh, there it is, number 2. Bluepoint's next game isn't Demon Souls, but that's just because I think everybody thinks it is Demon Souls.
They put a tweet out in the last couple months that had, it was like some, if I remember correctly,
It was like a holiday.
thing.
Yeah, it was all the different references.
And there was a bunch of references. One did reference Metal Gear. One did reference Demon Souls. One
Castle
referenced Legend of Dragoon.
Symphony of the Night.
Siphon Filter.
Yeah, so it's like at this point they're in on it, and like I don't know that they would like hint that hard if it was actually one of those. But
Do you think that if it's not one of those like suggested games, it's going to be immensely disappointing to everybody and there's going to be a huge backlash?
I mean, I think no matter what, there'll be a backlash, even if it was one of those from the people that wanted the other things.
But you'd understand.
Yeah.
Even if as much as I want Metal Gear Solid and don't care about Demon Souls, if that got announced, I'd be like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? I wish it was my thing. Fuck you guys. But I wouldn't be like,
Yeah, like, as long-
this isn't a big deal. You said it was gonna be a big deal.
If it's any of those games, great. If it turns out to be like fucking Ape Escape, I'm like, Ape Escape's cool. This is not what I was
No,
hoping
Ape
for.
Escape is not. They know that,
I know,
right? They've
yeah,
talked
no,
about it
I'm
being their biggest thing or whatever.
Like throwing out whatever, like it's Mega Man Soccer. Like that's that game.
So the Bluepoint tweet, it was October 31st, so Halloween. They tweeted out, "So calm the spooky night, a symphony of rumors, not one but two, return from shadow, a resistance to dart home as black monsters escape twisted hills
Yeah, there's fucking
wander lands, so wander being like from shadow classes, and siphon souls. Filter your candy collections, soft from solid, and be eco-friendly. Have a metal Halloween."
This isn't even the tweet I was talking about.
No?
There was a Christmas one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely one.
They're playing with
recently.
people.
Yeah. I love it. Keep playing, man. But yeah, the thing that gets weird, and this is something that you guys need to fact check me on, because I don't totally understand Bluepoint and who owns them and all that stuff. They're their own thing, right? But they're making this game. We know it's a PlayStation 5 title.
Yes.
Correct.
Well,
So-
we're assuming it is.
That was in the
'Cause
Wired
They,
article.
they were in the Wired article, and I doubt Sony would have them like direct wire to talk to them if they weren't working on a PS5 game.
Because like the games we're talking about here, Legend of Dragoon, Siphon Filter, Demon Souls, like that's PlayStation. So
Yes.
cool. Metal Gear Solid seems like they're not going to be PlayStation exclusive.
They would have to make a deal with Konami to
Yeah.
like, get that done.
That sounds like
Konami's
that's
like,
why
I
it's like
can't hear
two-
you over the
'Cause that would
pachinko
be-
machines.
That would be Sony making a deal with Konami and then approaching Bluepoint to develop it.
Yeah, that just sounds. There's too much there.
Yeah.
Too wild. I want it though, baby. Let's
Yeah,
go.
can you imagine?
Yeah.
Greg Miller.
Hey, baby. I have a lot of. We're gonna do like after the fact little ones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then I'll use this one to take a shot across the bow. All
Shoot
right?
it, dude.
It's gonna start like a joke, but I assure you, it is not. It will not end like a joke. Patapon 2 is released, and IGN and GameSpot continue their trend of being cowards and refuse to review it. I ask you, IGN and GameSpot, look into your heart of hearts and think about what you're doing. Are you the reason, since you were too busy to review the original Patapon on PS4? Are you the Thank you, Andy. Are you the reason we still don't have Patapon 2? Put that on your head. You know what I mean? Think about that. Let me ask you, are you going to be cowards your entire life, or are you going to review this? You're going to be that busy all the time? You're telling me Dan Stapleton, look around, stand up from your desk right now and look around. Look, you telling me one of these kids is not doing anything? They're all heads down, working really hard on PlayStation 5, Xbox, Scarlet, whatever the hell. No. Look over there. What is Miranda Sanchez doing? Give her this to review. Freelance out to Megan Sullivan. Give it to her to review. GameSpot. I will review it for you. Send it to me. Let's do it. Let's fix it and get Patapon 3 on the PlayStation 5. Thank you.
When did this transition from joke to non-joke? I didn't get.
Oh, the very beginning when I said Patapon 2 is going to be released, I know you're all going to go, ha, 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 but then it became the rallying cry.
I was gonna say,
I don't know if you've looked at the comments. People are calling this now the Snyder Cut of video games.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Imran.
And I'm going to tweet right now, everybody. Hashtag release Snyder Cut, hashtag release Patapon 2.
Patapon 2 never comes out. No, it was Beyond Good and Evil 2 does not come out this year, but I think they try to make good on that, and they try to release a Rayman this year.
I don't think. Did anybody think that game was coming out this year? Beyond Good and Evil 2?
It's been a number
Dude,
of
people
years.
thought it was coming out last year.
It didn't come.
They're crazy.
It didn't come last year. Year before was the Jade trailer. Year before was the reveal.
They
So
keep
it's been
showing
3 years.
wireframes and being like, "Oh yeah, it's a game,"
Yeah,
but like,
it's super weird. It's
Yeah.
like I understand what they want for that game is ambitious, but it's been a really long time already.
they announced it way too early.
No, yeah, they announced it before any work had begun.
They announced it way too early twice.
Yes.
Exactly.
And like they seem to know what they want to do with it, but like,
I think it's a 2021 game, and I think it's just straight up next gen.
yeah, at this point, I think it'll probably be a cross-gen because Ubisoft's like that. But I think there is no way that game comes out this year. I think maybe end of next year, or if it's a surprise, like maybe it's like done. But it sounds like a lot of Ubisoft stuff is just not working out great for them. Like Skull and Bones is still missing.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff got delayed. But I do think that they're gonna rev up the Ubi art engine, and they're gonna release a Rayman this year.
I love that. I want that very bad. Bless. Your final prediction.
So I want to say also, I've been thinking more about this GTA 6 thing, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh shoot, that game might be like soon. Like even like I forget that game came out, or Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018, and now we're in 2020.
Right.
And so it makes sense to start marketing it. And so now I'm like unreasonably excited for GTA 6. But my last prediction, the PlayStation 5 is revealed to be launching at $400. Xbox Series X is revealed to be launching at $500, with another Xbox SKU revealed during the year to be launching at $350.
All right, so let's go over those numbers again.
So PS5 $400, Xbox Series X $500, another SKU of the Xbox revealed and launching at $350.
Do you think they're going to make that same mistake again?
I think the new version, or not the new version, but the version announced of the Xbox. Let's just
higher
call it
end
this,
version, the Pro.
Series
the
X.
Series X is the
Yeah.
Pro, right?
Yeah.
The not Pro, right? The Series S, let's call it, right? The lesser, quote unquote, lesser version is their way of remedying that mistake.
That price discrepancy?
Yeah, and I think like they're also doing something this time around that is a bit more different from PS5, and so I feel like they'll get away with it a little bit more, going it about that way.
It can bite you in the ass. Like Sony learned that lesson well in 2006 that even having a cheaper version, people see the higher end one.
Yeah,
So if it's too expensive, they're gonna balk off a little bit.
for
But
sure.
at the same time, like from what we've heard about the Series X, it does sound like kind of a beast.
Yeah, that's the thing,
The
right?
Series X is $500.
Yeah, I don't think
there's any
either of
question
them
there.
go below 500 unless they're really taking a loss on it.
I think PS5 is also $500.
You do?
Yeah.
I think they're $399.99. $400.
It's awesome.
That would be aggressive pricing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think for PlayStation. I think Series X is $500.
Yeah.
$499.
I
And
would
then
guess
I
I would guess 500, 500, 300 for the cheaper one.
I wanted to
cheaper
put down
Xbox.
300, but I don't.
The 350 is just weird enough, and I'm
350
like, I think you're right.
350
That was the price of the Wii U.
350 is a weird price, but 300 just seems so low, especially if the goal is to
It's the price of the Switch.
if the goal, the price of the Switch, but the Switch is not like a technical beast. Like
Right,
it is,
no,
but
yeah.
it's not like.
But
an
what I
Xbox.
mean is like there's a mass market acceptance for that price now.
Yeah, no, exactly. But with for the Switch at 300 or
For 300, yeah.
okay, yeah.
So 350, just like better graphics, I could see people going up to that price.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that like that allows them to undercut PS5 if PS5 comes out at 400. And so that messaging, like the messaging isn't just, oh, the Xbox costs more. It becomes a little bit more complicated in a way. And so I could see it.
I think there's no way they let Sony get the price advantage again. I think they'll probably wait to like see what Sony's details are before they announce their price, or they'll be quick to change it if they feel like it.
Interesting.
Well, I think PlayStation's out before E3, and I think Microsoft waits for E3,
Yeah.
right, to go big with everything. And I think the way they said after Game Awards tried to put the genie back in the bottle of like, well, the Xbox, it's called the Xbox. The Series X is the model. Like, this is Xbox, right? Does make me think they're going to do here's Xbox Series X, and here is Xbox
S.
Scarlet, whatever.
Series
that is
S.
digital and streaming only. And like, that's how you get it, and that's how we're cutting it, and you're not getting the crazy 8K, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But I agree that it's a complicated message at launch to say that.
Yeah.
But it does paint the picture. But then again, it's also then painting the picture of this is Xbox Series X is the latest Xbox iPhone.
I mean,
and if you want to play
yeah.
the new games we're announcing, guess what? The one you can go buy right now for $250 or whatever does it too.
They're making a lot of gambles at the beginning of the generation, and I feel like if they don't handle it right, then they'll have the same problem they used to
right
have.
back where they are.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think the difference here is that the messaging becomes, because at the messaging at the beginning of the PS4 and Xbox One console generation, it was that Xbox costs more, and power-wise, they're pretty much at parity with, I think, you can make the argument that PS4 was more powerful than the Xbox One, and so that kind of became like a no-brainer. Whereas here, I think the messaging could be, we have the strongest console, and we also have the cheapest console, right? With the two choices you have with the Xbox. If they come out with Series X being super powerful at higher price, and Series quote-unquote S coming out and being digital only or whatever it is, and not being as powerful.
They also have the Xbox One.
And the Xbox One.
And that's my thing, is I really do think that we talk about this so much. We talk about it like every other console generation we've seen. And I'm just talking about Xbox, but in terms of console shifts, I really do think that this isn't a console launch as much as it is a platform relaunch.
Yes.
Where it is going to be the fact of, and not in so many words, but hey, everybody, it's Xbox. Here's the Series X. Here are all these games from all our exclusive studios that are coming out in the first year. You can still play these on Xbox One, with the hope being that you're somebody like me who bought your Xbox One but really doesn't use it that often. But now there's an exclusive lineup coming to it, along with Game Pass deals and stuff like that I can only get there. So I'm buying these games, I'm putting them in, I'm playing them, I'm enjoying them, but I am then having that thing of like, fuck, this would look way better with the new system. And then it's just then it suddenly goes from, am I trying to make this huge console jump to, I'm just making another Xbox One X jump, right? Like I'm just buying the highest quality machine, and now I can justify it to myself because I'm finally playing stuff on here.
Yeah. And you say not in so many words, but Matt Booty has basically said exactly that they want to kind of eschew the generational model.
Yeah.
They're looking to change this up enough that if you want to buy a Series X, if you want those new graphics, great. Go for it. If you don't want to, it'll still be fine.
Yeah.
Like, you're still gonna get Hellblade 2 on your old system.
Yeah, like Xbox One is still gonna be, I guess, current gen-ish for the next couple years.
Yeah. But I think what the main thing is, they want to avoid that terminology completely.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Current gen, next gen, whatever. Because we don't refer to iPhones necessarily that way. Like, I can play Sayonara Wild Hearts on my iPhone X. Some of the iPhone 8 can, but they're not necessarily left behind.
Yeah.
For my final one, I want to bring some juice. I don't want to go too easy.
Oh.
All right.
A new Mario Kart will be announced. It'll be one of the first time we get two Mario Karts on the same system. It is kind of weird though, because Mario Kart 8 is a port for all
Yes.
intents and purposes. So it would be the first unique Switch Mario Kart game. Its title will be something that makes it a Super Smash Brothers type game. That it is. It's a Nintendo Kart, but they're not going to call it Nintendo Kart. It's going to be called Mario Kart Universe.
Racing Transformed.
Mario Kart something that implies that there's going to be a lot more integration of Zelda stuff and Animal Crossing stuff, like Mario Kart 8 kind of teased a little bit, but it's going all in, where every single course is going to be from a different Nintendo franchise.
That'd be awesome.
I do think, I think we place too much importance on the precedence of, they've never done X twice on a system, because now they've only got one system when they used to have two. So there used to be two Mario Karts per generation. They were just on different consoles.
Yeah.
So I could easily see them working on a new Mario Kart right now. The only thing I think standing in the way is Mario Kart DX is still selling so fucking well. It is I think it's still the best-selling Switch game, period.
And it will continue to be. I think that you can have Nintendo's in a weird place right now, and I'm very excited to see what the directs this year start to kind of put out, because we've now seen years of what a Nintendo looks like with just one system. And I feel like so many of the bangers were used up already. And we're like last year we kind of saw like, you know, the Luigi's Mansion tier of games coming out consistently. We're about to get the refresh of getting the sequels to things, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, like stuff like that. I feel like they need to bring a couple other like huge bangers back into the mix.
Mario Golf.
I mean, we're gonna.
I'm sure there's gonna be a Mario Golf.
Fuck yeah, we
like
are.
that was.
Fuck yeah,
I was
we
thinking
are.
about doing a Nintendo prediction in that ilk, and it was gonna be like Mario Golf and maybe like Paper Mario this year.
Paper Mario,
I think Paper Mario is pretty likely.
Yeah. But I just think that with Mario Kart, it's like there's just so much money to be made, and I think that they're double dip on that. Have two Mario Karts out there.
Yeah, I think they would probably wait for sales to dip on 8 before. I bet you that game just like it's not done, but it's like development is not going super fast right now because they know that they have time to do whenever. The most telling thing to me is they never did Mario Kart 8 DLC on Switch. They did it on Wii U.
Which is so weird.
Yeah. And like they could have sold so many tracks. So I think probably those tracks just exist for a Mario Kart 9 somewhere.
Yeah, I think Mario Kart 9 is for sure going to come out on the Switch. I don't know if it's going to be imminent though. Like I feel like we're still maybe like 2 years away from it.
Yeah, they could hold that game back for Switch 2 if they wanted to. They don't need to release it until they feel like they need to release it. And that's because like they had the same bundle of Mario Kart 8 on Switch last year for Christmas that they had the year before. It was the exact same bundle, same box, everything.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. That's like a totally weird industry thing.
But my thing is, you know, Pokemon sells super well. They're going to keep putting out new Pokemon games.
Yeah.
I just feel like you can have multiple.
I feel like
Yeah.
Pokemon
out
has
there.
that expectation though. Whereas like I feel like for Mario Kart and like the core Mario franchises, like there's a level of fatigue that you can get if you get too many Mario Karts because they're all, even though they're different properties, they're still part of the same, or different franchises, they're still part of the same property being Mario. And so if you like poop out a bunch of different Mario games and then poop out like a bunch of different sequels to the same Mario games.
Pooping them out.
Pooping them out.
Welcome toilet.
I feel like that fatigue can come pretty quick as opposed to doing like, all right, we're going to do 2 Mario Karts. We're going to have a Smash Brothers. We're going to have, let's say 2 Mario parties this generation and then a Paper Mario and then a golf and a tennis and a baseball maybe. No, let's do basketball instead. Like, I feel like they kind of pick and choose a Mario basketball game would be awesome.
There were 2 for DS.
Wait, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a Square
One was
Enix
made by
crossover.
Square,
Like the
yeah.
Final Fantasy classes were also players.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember playing NBA Street Volume 3
Hell
at
yeah.
a friend's
Mario
house
and
With Mario and friends,
Peach.
there you
Dude,
go.
That was the sickest thing ever. But
But like also there are different audiences too. Like Pokemon
True.
players, if you upgrade every year, then it's like, oh well, I need to upgrade to catch up to like this new content. Everyone else has moved on here to online and all that stuff. Mario Kart, that audience is more likely to go like, oh, there's a new one. I don't care. I'm fine with 8.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I feel like Mario Kart is the type of franchise that will sell to people that wouldn't buy a game, but they're like, I bought a Switch and I have Mario Kart 8 already, but it's like, oh, there's a new Mario Kart? I'm going to go buy that. You know, it's just like, why not get that, bring the people back that might have like bought the Switch and then they're not going to buy Breath of the Wild 2. You know, it's like, but they would buy a Mario Kart.
What would be an interesting thing would be a entirely new set of courses, and like by entirely new I mean like also the retro courses and all that too. That is, you can buy it as Mario Kart 9, or you can buy it as a $40 DLC to Mario Kart 8.
So I think you need the excitement. You need the new SKU.
I think that's way too forward thinking for Nintendo.
Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast. We're about to do the post show for Patreon members where we will give some more of our leftover predictions as well as go over some of your predictions that you sent in to
Let me give you this free one. Lizzo
/Kind of
plays the Game Awards 2020.
The Rock in GTA 6.
Shut up.
Oh,
Did
that
you have information on
fire.
The Rock and GTA 6? Is that true? Oh, wow.
Andy, did you get my text?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You're also going to get the #1 games journalist
Wow.
one prediction in the post show. So stay tuned for that.